The reset started in September last year, when all of a sudden I got completely unrealistic demands from out of nowhere from my most important client, who'd been loyal to me for a long time. And the things they were asking of me, we want this done perfect, free, and fast. And if of course came from these new players, and maybe just out of sympathy, they wanted to see if I was able to compete with that. And of course I couldn't. That was the start of the reset. That was the blip on the radar signaling the coming downfall. But that's when the reset started. And I think now when you ask me this, and I do feel sorry for myself, but I do at least theoretically see opportunities around us. And that's when the real reset starts, that I can at least start to accept and even maybe get a little bit interested in this new reality. I think the reset started the moment this all fell apart, or even slightly before. I saw my life as being fixed and finished and solid, like an object. And I have come to realize that it's more fluid. Like the goal line is, well, not to be too morbid, but it's death, right? That's when it's all finished. But as long as we're alive, there's this flow of things, many of them not going in a direction that we foresaw, but sometimes some in a better or at least different direction. So the reset started long ago. And I think for me, the reset will have come the day I'm able to let go of these negative emotions weighing me down that I'm still attached to, that still define me and still shape how I see my days. But they will also come perhaps when I'm able to look upon a different horizon, to look upon a different kind of sunrise. It lies beyond acceptance. It lies when I'm able to enjoy myself in that new reality. That's when the reset will have been finished. So even though it sounds like a button, right? The reset button, it's more of like a very long, chewy pizza dough, like it's stretched out over. I have a feeling it's going to take a few years for me, but that's what the reset means for me. A friend recently asked me if I really enjoyed these, 100+ days of travel and lunches with clients, and I had to say that now I you know what, I didn't enjoy all of it. Some of it was a little bit of a burden. There was a burden in the busyness and the success too. So even though I find myself being extremely bored and still shell-shocked, there are days when I can still feel a sense of relief. And I don't want to bounce back to exactly that. I want to rebuild things and do things differently. I'd like the next kind of success to be a different kind of success, at least more sustainable. And I'm not necessarily talking climate here, although that's probably important too. I'm talking sustainable for me, for the life I want to lead. I was a little bit a victim of my own success. So I want to bounce forward or leap forward or leap sideways. I want to go in a different kind of direction. I don't want to come back to the way I was. And that feels like like a sign of consolation. It feels consoling for me to say those words. I haven't said them before in this horrible time that I've been through. You don't bounce back, you bounce forward, you bounce sideways, you bounce backwards. In that yesterday I had a really awful day. I mainly just lay in bed feeling sorry for myself. And I can be gripped by sadness and anger and hatred and all of these things, surprisingly. But in that bounce back ability dimension, I can still start to accept that this is the new me now. This is where things are. There's not some parallel life going on or some parallel me, at least not that I have any use for. Multiverses, with all due respect. So maybe that is the bounce back. Maybe that is the reset. And if I can only take away these anchors and they will fall away, then I will be able to discover more things and use them and define a new life, way of living, partnership for myself. So time is magic in this sense. It transforms, it heals, it opens up things that were previously blocked off for me.